All right, mathletes, so someone had a question about this problem right here, and this was chapter 5.1 and exercises 19 and 20. All right, so this is from 5.1, exercises 19 and 20. All right, so what they had you do is factor this trig function, or this trig expression, excuse me, and what they started off with was they said first factor this. And so going over our factoring skills, we know that 4a times a gives me 4a squared, and then negative b times negative 5b squared gives me positive 5b squared. And when you FOIL this, right, when you distribute everything, it gives you that middle term. All right, the same thing's going to happen here, except this looks a little confusing because now you have sine and cosine. So if it looks a little confusing, then what you might want to do is you might want to say, you know what, I'm going to let a equals sine x. So we're going to do a little substitution here. So wherever you see a sine, you're going to put the letter a, and wherever you see cosine, we'll put the letter b. And so notice when you do this, where I see sine squared, well, with this substitution, this just becomes 4a squared. So essentially, once you substitute a and b into this problem, it becomes this exact expression up here. And that's going to be very helpful because now once you factor this, right, which is much easier to do, wherever you see a, now you could write a sine. Wherever you see a b, now you could write a cosine. And when we think about it, so let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to have 4 sine x minus cosine x, and then you're going to have right here where it says a minus 5b, you're going to have sine x minus 5 cosine x. And when we distribute, check it out. 4 sine times sine, that gives me 4 sine squared. And then negative sine times negative 5 sine, cosine, gives me that positive 5 cosine squared. So again, this is a little trick that I like using. It's called a substitution, right? So that this harder problem, right, looks a lot easier once we do the substitution. And then after you factor it, then you go back and you use back substitution. You just say, what did I let a equal originally? A was sine. What did I let b equal originally? B was just cosine. All right. So initially, once you do this part, you're done because now you can use this nice little substitution, and it'll help you factor this once complicated expression right here. All right. So if you still have questions, let me know. Hopefully that made sense right there. Peace.